The show. Mike, Amy is here. Ames, I like your sweatshirt. Is that
Gracias.
Lions?
It is.
Is that new?
No, it's not new.
Stand up real quick. Let me see that. Is that the old school? Yeah, it's my favorite logo.
Yeah, I know.
That's my
I love this
logo.
logo too.
Yeah.
It's my fave.
I don't remember them ever using that when I was a kid for anything. I think they did sort of like on t-shirts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly much more recently, they've kind of gone with that and then obviously putting it on the helmet last year was amazing.
I love those helmets.
Yeah. In fact, I have one.
Look at that little guy.
Yeah, he's a little guy. I got that at Christmas. From my mama.
Aw.
Yeah.
Mike,
yeah, it's my favorite.
You didn't respond to my video earlier about the cat.
What video?
Did you see the cat that was on my porch?
Yeah, I watched it. I'm sorry. Did I not respond? I hate
no,
when
you
people
didn't.
do that to me.
I basically have a pet cat now.
Yeah, dude. Don't get me started on cats. Okay, because you know how liberals are, and they're cats.
Yeah.
So, I'm in a world of cats.
People say that that cat probably doesn't feel great today because it ate a bunch of dog food.
So
and I'm like,
let's
what's
tell
the
people
difference?
what happened. So you sent me a video, and it's like these creepy videos that everybody's has because they're from their
it's our doorbell video.
Cameras. Yeah, doorbell video. But they always look weird, when someone's up at your door or whatever. They're always, it's
especially at night when it's
like
night vision.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yes. Yeah, no, and nothing good is going on. No one's bringing you cookies. Like it's always something fucked up. Yeah, at 2 a.m. So you got a delivery of your Chewy, which I know because the warden gets Chewy.
Yeah,
and it's that's how she gets the dog food, cat food, toys, everything. And yours was on the porch, and then some random cat showed up.
Yeah,
and then put on a porn video basically after it chowed.
Ate its box for first. It ate the dog food, then ate its box for like 2 minutes straight on the porch. But yeah, because Rocky walked outside for work today, and he was like, an animal got into this Chewy box, and he's like, check the camera, and I was expecting it to be a raccoon because we've got a gazillion of them around
raccoons
here.
are great.
I was shocked to see that it was a cat. I just was,
and
it would like leave and it would come back, but Rocky said that it's not feeling well today because they're not supposed to eat dog food, which I don't understand. Like, what's the difference? What is the difference?
I say the same thing. Cats eating dog food, dogs eating cat food. It's all brown circles in a bowl. Like, what's the deal? Who cares?
Seriously, like they've got something so different in their stomachs that they can't handle each other's food. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
It seems like a scam to me too. Because the warden likes to leave little fucking plates of like wet cat food around the kitchen for the gaggle of cats. And it's like if Cece or Shelby goes up there at any given time, it's like, oh, wow, there's a plate of deliciousness. I'm going in for that.
That's different than my brown circles.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll enjoy too. And they'll lick it up and it's like, oh, they could. And I'm like, they could what? What I've seen them eat their own shit. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
I've seen them eat dirt.
Yeah.
It's like you ever take a dog on a walk when it's raining, there's a puddle in the ground, they're eating it. They're licking stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Anyway, Greg Henson is supposed to join us. I texted him 10 times today. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yes, I'm in. And so this is the problem with Greg Henson. I don't get it. He's kind of retarded. So I'm like, all right, Amy and I are just starting. If you want to join us, pop on in, fathead. So if he joins us, great. If he doesn't, he is. I could go through my text with him. He's supposed to be here, but he'll have some stupid excuse like, "Oh, my wife was using a computer and wouldn't let me." Wouldn't let me play.
Sounds to me like they need separate spaces.
Yeah, you would think, right?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
There should be a bubble that pops up. Maybe at some point. But why don't I do a couple reads first? Because I haven't done these in a minute.
No.
Deer Lake Athletic Club, thank you to them. They could be watching us right now. Thank you to those guys in Clarkston. Full gym, fitness classes, pools, 3 pools as a matter of fact, swim lessons, tennis, pickleball, and more. They offer summer memberships from Memorial Day to Labor Day with poolside grill opening for summer too. That sounds great. Register now for the kids' summer day camp that starts June 9th. The Backcourt restaurant inside is open to the public with weekly dinner specials, kids' meals for $5 on Thursdays, live entertainment on the weekend. You can visit their website at deerlakeathleticclub.com for more info about the club, the restaurant, the banquet center, the whole works. And love hearing from those guys. And, I often get a text from them over there going, yeah, we had more listeners in, and you guys never disappoint. It's so great. I love hearing that you guys are in there, having some cocktails and some food and enjoying the place.
Oh shit.
It's very cool. And I appreciate it. Amy appreciates it. Fathead Greg Henson probably appreciates it. There he is. He has no idea what 8 o'clock means. So yeah, we'll just scroll in at 8:11 because he's never worked in radio and understands timelines at all. He's never run radio stations, run his own fucking programs, and understands timestamps and what a clock looks like. So welcome to the program, our very own 3G Greg Henson. How are you, pal?
I'm on my time, baby.
You are, aren't you?
I was listening to Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. You were what?
I was listening to a podcast and I lost track of time.
Happens to me all the time, but usually it's because I'm stoned. So Michael had to text me and be like, stoner alert.
No funny. Mm-hmm. No, I was.
I call her Stonehenge.
I was listening to Joey Diaz. You know who that is?
The comic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rogan's boy.
Oh, is that
Joey?
Okay.
Oh, no, Joey Diaz, big fat guy.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Out of Jersey. Yeah, he's a right definition of doesn't give a fuck.
Love it.
Doesn't. Yeah. I do too. Well, welcome back, Greg. People were accusing me of being in a fight with you. Greg hasn't been on lately. I'm like, dude, Greg's busy too. He does have a life outside of. Huh?
Well, and it's when it's in the wintertime, it would fall in the middle of her time.
Yeah. Oh, there she is.
She always girl. Just sits in here. What do you think, Amy? You see the Aussie?
Oh, hi, babies.
Yeah, that's Oyster. Ha! Look at her giving her daily loves.
Hi.
It's raining.
Oh, love gives and kisses on the head.
Yeah, top of the head licks. She's a good girl. What a sweet girl. You know what I found out, Greg? You pay quite a bit extra to have the Max Scherzer eyes.
Yeah, she was not cheap. I'm not proud of what I paid.
Yeah. No, but I didn't know that. Like, I know there's a small difference between male and female in that breed.
Blue and black.
Yeah, the blue merle. You pay more for a blue merle. She's a blue, right? Is she a blue merle or is she the? Yeah. So I know the blue merle is
blue merle.
Okay, yeah. So you pay a lot for that, and then you pay quite a bit more to have the Max Scherzer one brown eye, one blue eye. Yeah. I didn't know that was highly sought after, but it apparently is.
I didn't even notice. I noticed the eye. I didn't even ask about the price. I'll take her right now.
Because isn't that the way that goes? So,
well, when my wife said yes, I wasn't going to dick around.
No. Yeah, I won't even ask you. I think I remember the cost of Oyster, but I don't even want to say it. But they are not cheap. Now, is your belly feeling better? I think
I saw go ahead.
No. I was gonna. Well, I really wanted Greg here yesterday, but go ahead and say what you were going to say, Amy, and then I'll get into it.
I was just going to say, Diesel's 14th birthday was the other day. So I was pulling up a picture of him from when he was a puppy. And it's a picture from the ad from when we got him. He was $200.
Wow.
And he just turned 14. I'm like, that is like the best investment ever. I don't know how he was so cheap.
My first one was $38.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Probably not the same with your dog.
Remember when the the Humane Society or whatever used to go around to radio stations, Greg, and they would show off what they had, and I remember they brought in a cat once, and it was this tiny little kitten, and Mike Clark fell in love with this thing. It was like, you got to take this thing home. And I was like, what am I going to do with this cat? And he's like, dude, this cat's fucking awesome. And Clark's like, I'll pay for everything. I'll pay for the cage. I'll pay for the fucking food, the bowls, whatever the carrier. Cause it comes with like, and it wasn't much. It probably came to $300 total for all the bells and whistles. And then so I took that cat home. It became Monster.
Why does the cat need a bong?
A what?
A bong.
A bong?
Yeah,
what, did I say that?
Like all the shit you need for it.
yeah. But it was because they wouldn't give it up unless you like paid for the fees to do this, and you have to get it fixed and all this shit. And I was like, I'm not paying for any of that shit. I didn't even ask for a cat. And Clark's like, I'm paying for everything. And so I ended up going home with a cat, and I had that thing for 15 years.
That's back in the day when they would charge you $100 for the cat, but you get 50 back when you get it spayed.
Is that what they would do?
You have to leave like a deposit on their uterus.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then you come back and you hold the uterus up and say, give me back my $50.
Yeah, a bagged uterus. I really wanted to have you on yesterday, Greg, and I know you were a bit under the weather. I think your belly was hurt or something was going on.
Yeah, I called in sick.
You called in sick, and but I really wanted to talk again. Amy and I were talking a lot about this James Comey 8647, this cute, hilarious post he thinks he's making, and I was trying to reiterate, like, tell Amy just how much those of us that were in media understood. Like, you just don't, like, you think you're being cute. You don't fuck around with violence when it comes to political figures. And you ran into it firsthand. We've talked about it a little bit before, but Jamie Samuelson.
Jamie, of all people.
Of all people.
I mean,
of all people.
Biggest Clinton fan on the planet. When the Lewinsky story broke, he made some flippant comment. He said, if Clinton did this, he should be shot. And then after the show, I get it's my boss, and he wants to know what the fuck I said that the Secret Service is sitting in his office.
It took them, they were there that quick.
End of the show.
Did you
shit.
pick that up, by the way? The boss wanted to know what you said.
Right, exactly.
Right.
They knew.
I didn't say anything. And then we figured out it was Jamie. And just the blood all rushed to his face when he had to go talk to the Secret Service. And I think he told me that to this day, well, he's passed since, but that he always, whenever Clinton head to town, they had to account for Jamie's whereabouts. Jamie. Yeah. Didn't he tell you about it or something?
That's amazing.
Dude, amazing. And I hope that's true. I guarantee, knowing Jamie, that's 100% true.
Didn't he tell you?
The fact that they would need it. Dude, I asked Jamie a little bit. He didn't even want to talk about it. It was like he was afraid there were microphones like floating around the facility. Right. And he was going to get caught somehow saying the wrong thing about that situation. Like, he didn't, like, usually he and I connected over the 49ers, the San Francisco Giants, the Warriors. Like, so we had that whole sports thing, Bay Area sports thing. And I could text him anytime. Yeah, love of dudes, obviously. But anytime I text me right away, like, he'd be like, oh, yeah, this move they're making. Like, we'd have these great conversations about shit that no one else cared about in Detroit. And then it's like, so tell me about this time the Secret Service showed up. And it was just like, he didn't want to talk about it at all.
No, he was
nothing.
He was scared to death after that. And it was such a harmless comment, dude. It was so funny. And I think, and somebody called the Secret Service. This isn't back in social media days where you could just retweet it to the Secret Service. Somebody had to call them.
Yeah. Do you think that was
crazy.
Do you think that was a better place to be, though? Like, something about this all really bothers me. The amount of people on social media that are like, oh, is today going to be the day when you know what happens? You know, all these cutesy, like, hey, what they're saying is, hey, let's murder someone we disagree with politically. Everyone on board? And it just waters down the seriousness of that. Yeah. And I don't want to tattletale on people, but it's like we all, especially in media, you just knew, like, there were lines on public broadcast airwaves you just didn't cross. Right. And Jamie learned the hard way. Like, that's the story. Like, be careful when you make flippant comments about stuff like that. Like, you just don't go there.
The Comey stuff is such bullshit. Then the pussy blamed his wife.
Oh, I know.
That yesterday?
He did?
Well, he did. Yes. He blamed his wife, Amy. He said, I took it. My wife said, take a picture of it. She didn't say post it, idiot. But, you know, he made it anyway.
Exactly.
But, 100%. What are the chances this numbnut has walked up on 2 or 3 different seashell formations that he snapped pictures of? This happened once before.
Right.
Did it really?
He posted a picture of some seashells spelling something out like a year ago.
Yeah.
It's his.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's his.
And then he pretends not to know what 86 means.
Right.
You were in charge of the FBI, my dude. What are you even saying?
I love when Amy says my dude. It's my favorite.
Like, what?
I thought it was 69, 80, so 47. I mean, what an asshole. That fucking guy is nuts.
Clown City. Yeah. Clown City, all of them. Like, I just don't, there's something about, like, okay, I get it. Numbnuts like us are going to fuck around and say dumb stuff all the time. But I like having sort of a level of people where it's like they don't dare cross that line. And seeing so many of these people, what do you think? That's how you get a president shot. That's how you get people shooting at Trump. Yeah. And then we're having public debates about whether it was right, whether it even happened. Like, it's just insane.
Well, and then today, the same people who mocked and laughed about Limbaugh dying and Trump getting shot are mad because people are making the same comments, which are stupid, about Biden having basically terminal cancer. Oh, what kind of people are you? And they're all getting called out with old tweets, mocking Limbaugh's death or Trump getting shot or any other number of dead people. It's social media is a shithole. It just is. You have to be prepared to play in the shithole.
I didn't see anybody, and granted, my algorithm's a little different on X these days, but I didn't see anybody celebrating the fact that Joe Biden had cancer. If anything, I saw people going, how the fuck are we just hearing about this? And the timing of this seems weird. And I've got some questions. It wasn't like, ha ha ha, I'm so happy he has cancer and I hope he dies soon. Like that. I didn't see that.
That's true. No one does care.
Oh,
another Roops.
That looks like a little stuffed animal.
This is a Bichon Poo.
A Bichon Poo.
Bichon Poo. Oh, look at you. Oh, look at you.
His name's Humphrey, and he's a good boy.
Oh, Humphrey.
What are you doing, Humphrey?
Dude, he's like, I don't like this. Puts me down.
He kind of looks like Cooper, like Kelly's dog Cooper, which is a Havanese.
Yeah, yep. I've
never even heard that word before. You're just saying words now. I've never heard of that.
So when they were going to get a dog,
there's Havapoos too.
Kelly's husband said, I don't want a boy dog and I don't want a white dog. So what the fuck did Kelly do? She went out and she got a boy white dog.
Yeah.
This is a little thing.
I'll never have a male again either.
Yeah. I think I'm going to
do way easier.
Are they?
Oh, potty trained easier. They don't continue to pee in the house when they get older.
Yeah.
Smarter. Yeah.
They don't mark.
Speaking of which, Diesel today, just when we got done eating dinner, he gets done. He walks over to the hardwood floor. He looks right at us and starts peeing. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What?
Zero fucks given. That dog's 14.
By the fucking sliding door that he knows he just can walk right out.
He's 98 years old.
I know.
He's 98. You think he gives a fuck on any level?
No,
you deal with it.
But Mike, you know this. Cece would never do that.
No, she's a good girl.
And neither would Oyster.
Very
She's the
good
best
girl.
baby going.
Dude, I feel so bad. I am the worst dad ever. I took her for a walk the other day, and it's just middle of the afternoon, and it's on the blacktop because it's either fucking needles and swords in the desert on everything, or the blacktop. And I'm walking, and I'm looking at her. She's just like, dude. And then I reached down and I touched the cement. It's, I don't know, 130 degrees. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, I'm so sorry. And so we had to race back home and get her a basket full of treats.
You got to get her booties.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
No, you have to.
I don't want to be that guy. You think?
Yep. Yeah, you got to get the ones with the rubber soles on them. If you look at the page on Instagram called Stilton the Aussie, he's got some bitchin' tennis shoes.
Really?
He wears them everywhere.
So, see, I swear to God, the thought crossed my mind, and I was like, if Greg Henson knows I put sneakers on my dog, without mercy, the beating I will take. I don't
have to there. You have no choice in Phoenix. None.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't take her out.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Why don't you go out barefoot, you fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even think about it because it wasn't that hot out.
But then, do you put shoes on your dog in the snow?
I tried.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Exactly. How many what kind of zoo do you live in?
I got 3 dogs. This is
Uno.
Who's that one?
This is Uno.
Oh, that's Uno. Yeah.
Now, Uno is Humphrey's brother. Same parents, 1 year apart.
Okay.
Look at that face.
He's a sweet boy.
Like,
I love dogs.
Yeah.
This one's a little autistic.
Oh,
he's autistic? Even
bit.
Better? Yeah. He's a good guy. I love that they do face kisses.
What makes him autistic?
Oh, he's not really. Well, he wants to fight everyone. I can't take him to the park. He wants to fight Rottweilers. Yep. He has a lot of seizures, like he used to. He hasn't had one in a long time, but he also just everything flips him out. Thunderstorms, everything.
Yeah, that's how Miggy is.
Is Cece freaked out about thunderstorms? Is Diesel?
Not at all. No,
Miggy is. Miggy is for sure.
You have 2?
Yeah, Diesel and Miggy. Diesel's completely deaf, so nothing really bothers him anymore.
Anyway,
yeah,
so, James Comey's
no, I don't. Yeah, exactly. The other thing that has been driving me nuts, and I haven't talked to you about, is the Jake Tappers of the world. Did you see his interview today with Megyn Kelly?
He kicked his ass.
He kicked his ass.
Let's watch some of it, and you guys can tell me to pause at any point. So Jake Tapper, CNN host, who we've been ragging on this clown for years. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he work for the Democrat Party at some point before he became a CNN anchor? Wasn't he one of those? I'm almost positive he was, kind of like George Snuffleupagus. Yeah, I think Jake Tapper's the one that was in either worked for a PAC for the DNC or for the DNC or something like that, which should be grounds to be off the team as far as media goes. Like you can't be expected to, it's just there are certain things that are a conflict of interest, and that's as glaring one as ever. For George Stephanopoulos to be, viewed as like, oh yeah, just the voice of the press at ABC News, the main guy. And I think Jake Tapper's another one where you're just like, no.
With zero curiosity about the president himself. How is it that us 3 schmucks knew something was wrong?
Right.
None of them
incredible
asked the questions.
No.
It's really it's a massive cover-up.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into all of it. Let's watch him so he's on his book tour now, which is so gross to me.
I want to read it, but I'd never spend $1 on it.
I know, that's how I feel too.
Dude, I've thought the same thing. I was going to say that to you guys. Like, what do we do here? How do I get
one person buys it, and
I don't even want to request a copy.
Pass it around.
I don't even want to request like a media review copy. Like, I don't want to at all. But let's hear him out.
Knowing what I know now.
It's incredible that he and CNN are actively promoting the fact that they are fucking liars. It's so crazy. Like, hey, tune into this book to see how we got it so wrong for the last 4 years.
The nuts on this guy to write this book.
It's incredible.
And then think that he's going to go around and say, I'm humbled. You mean you're humiliated, you idiot.
You should be humiliated. Well, let's hear him, because I'm glad he had the stones to go on Megyn Kelly. He has to know that she's not going to take a knee like everybody in left-wing media would do.
Right. I feel tremendous humility about my coverage, that Laura Trump interview, for example, et cetera. She saw something that I did not see at the time, 100%. And I own that. I did ask Joe Biden to be transparent about his health records in an interview in 2020. I did ask him about the fact that voters
but then he wasn't.
Thought that he was not transparent at all.
Please, Joe,
he promised you that he would be transparent about his health records, and then he wasn't. And when you sat with him again,
at all.
including 1 month after the Jackie Walorski thing, you didn't ask him about it. You didn't follow up on the fact that he was falling up the stairs, that he was losing his train of thought regularly, that he was slurring, that he was incomprehensible, that he was getting lost on the White House lawn. You sat right across from him and you asked none of that, notwithstanding the fact that he had promised you he would be fully transparent about his health issues.
That's true, but I did ask him about his age and the fact that the American people had concluded that even though he said whenever anybody brought up the subject of his age, watch me. And I said, yes, they're watching you and they are concerned that you were too old for this job.
You know as well as I do that there's a way of, you can say, hey, there's this poll on your age, or you could say, you just forgot that Jackie Walorski was dead. You asked where she was moments after watching a videotape tribute to her. You lowered the flags at the White House after she died. This happened 13 days before you sat with him. There is a way of pressing a man like that on the actual infirmities to bring it home to him and to the audience, and you didn't do it.
That's correct, I didn't. And like I said, I feel humility about my coverage. I mean, it's not like I was...
We get the point. Dude,
he just thinks it's okay, though, to just go around and say, I'm sorry. That doesn't change what he did.
No.
For him to say he didn't have sources in the White House when 5 minutes after he left the White House, you had 200 plus sources that were ready to talk to you for your fucking book.
Right.
Like what?
He's such a scumbag.
Is that his ghostwriter or something that's sitting next
the co-author, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is a dope going, oh shit.
Yeah. I didn't sign up for this.
And these titles, and I can't remember if this is, this is from the Daily Beast where I got this story. Biden cover-up authors hire crisis PR amid MAGA meltdown.
That's the Beast,
MAGA
though.
meltdown.
It's a left-wing,
right? Sure. But there's a lot of these like, oh, look at MAGA having a, it's like, no, how are you not having a meltdown? How are you not having a meltdown? These people are basically coming out going, yeah, we were totally full of shit for 4 years and we gaslit the country. You are the people that melt down about everything. That's where the term snowflakes come from.
Right.
What are you talking about? MAGA meltdown? No, it's disgusting what happened. It's disgusting.
You're seeing it, though. This is going to cost. They would have had a chance to get the House back in the midterm just because that's how it always goes. I don't think that's happening now. They're down. They're 11 points behind Trump's approval rating right now, and that just never happens. People are pissed. People know what they are now. But you know what's funny? You talk about the Democrat Party and what they did was at one point. Do you remember when the messaging started to change on Biden? When they started saying, "You're not just voting for Joe. You're voting for a team." You know, you're voting for Kamala Harris and you're voting for all of his advisors and you're voting for.
Yeah.
Well, that was when they knew he had cancer. That's when they knew he wouldn't make it through a second term. They wanted to pull his old ass across the finish line, pull him out, and then put Kamala in. That was the plan all along. But the debate changed it all. When he showed up at that debate and couldn't put two words together, they said, holy shit, now he can't even win. So this is all very nefarious. It's very distasteful, if you ask me.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting text. Yeah, it's so gross. They've hired a PR firm the authors of this, like really a crisis PR firm. Like how do we spin this? And you just know in that meeting, the crisis team has crafted a plan. Okay, Jake. Okay, Alex Thompson. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go in there and sort of fall on the sword, act like you're going to use words like humility. Make sure you get that word in there. Like they're still doing the same thing. Like this idea of getting into this, well, an age thing. No, this was not an age thing. Stop gaslighting people. But Pelosi is older than Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders is older than Joe Biden. Nobody is like they suck, but nobody is being like, yep. Stop painting it that way. That's the problem people had. Well, we just Joe Biden was too old, and polling said he's too old. No, the problem was never a number. It was so obvious what was going on, and now you want to come out and say, "Oh, well, that's to my great humility, and I've owned that." No, you haven't.
Yeah.
No, you haven't, because you still haven't explained how you did that. And I've heard these people have the stones to come out and say stuff like, well, the White House lied to us. They lied. Well, no shit.
Yeah.
Really? The White House lied to you? I assume every time they say something, they're lying to you.
Yeah.
It's your job as a reporter to find out the truth.
And everybody else saw it. That's the thing. It wasn't like they fooled us all. They fooled you.
Right.
They didn't fool us.
Useful idiots.
Yeah,
yes,
we were all standing there going, hey, we've all had somebody in our life with Alzheimer's and dementia, and that's what the fuck it looks like. Right there.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
I said that many times.
Yeah. I mean, the empty stare. That empty stare.
Well, you see
go ahead, Jack.
When he would wander off.
Yep.
Do you remember when he was doing the interview on CNN and she wrapped up the interview and he just got up and started walking away?
Yeah.
I mean, that is classic dementia.
Classic. It is.
One of my favorites is him standing there like a statue looking off into space when that fucking dude in that glittery is dancing his ass.
Oh, yeah. But holding his hand like he wanted to shake somebody's hand.
Oh, the shaking hands with dead people is one of my favorites too. Just turning around.
Do you remember the Bad News Bears?
Sure.
Original? When the groundskeeper originally was going to be their guy, and they hired him to come say bye to their parents, and all he could say was, "Hi, nice to meet you." Hi, nice to meet you. And he would just go from person to person.
Yeah.
And then as they're leaving, he's waving, "Hi, nice to meet you."
But here's the thing, and I'm going to talk to, I might bring it up with the warden or probably G Money later.
Yeah, what's the warden saying?
Like, dude, I avoid. Like, it's fun to post on your wife's Facebook, for instance, Greg. She could take it. She's she kind of laughs it off. She's used to dealing with you. I don't even bother. I'll go there with G maybe later. But I really want to know, like, did these people believe this? Does Jake Tapper think he's being, because they're all saying the same thing, like, we just didn't know. We should have seen it sooner. Like, I don't believe it.
Hey, I'll tell you what. My mother-in-law and my wife didn't want to believe it. They wouldn't admit it either. They wouldn't.
What do they say now, though?
All because of abortion. She hasn't said a word. She's conveniently never says a word. She'll post stupid shit about Trump, like you saw.
Yeah.
Which is a bunch of meaningless bullshit. But she never writes anything about, wow, how ashamed I am to be a Democrat because I tried to run a dead man for president.
Right.
I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
it's just like it's dishonest.
It sounds like in the book too. I saw something with Jake Tapper on a different show where he said Hunter Biden was basically like the chief of staff. Like he was running shit. He was running shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing. That's the only thing we heard is Hunter's not running for president. He's just a private citizen. Fuck off.
Yeah.
And so, and then this auto pen controversy. How many of these pardons are going to get rolled back?
Yes.
Can they do that? I would love to know. I'd like a full investigation into the auto pen. Yeah, Cliff, you're not wrong. I like, part of me has been saying all along, like, just move on, just put this behind us and fuck these people.
Right.
But there's another part of me that goes, no, man, how do you make sure this isn't possible to happen again?
Well, and here's the thing about, like, with Biden, though, he doesn't have to tell us his medical report. It's not law. It's always been a courtesy. Obama did it. Trump's done it. But you don't have to, as president, say anything about it, just like no one can compel you to release your medical records. So the problem is there going to have to be some type of law that says to run for president, we need to know the basics. Do you have fucking cancer? Is your frontal lobe operating? Just basic shit.
Right.
Basic shit.
Basic.
And I don't need to know details. I don't need to know if he's ever had VD. I don't need to know any of that shit.
Right.
My question is your brain operating properly? And it's got to be done by an independent panel of doctors. You can't just have your personal physician, because we're finding out today that Biden's physician is his boy from years.
What are you talking about? This guy?
Is that a dude?
I'm not sure what that is.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Jesus Christ. This thing, what are these medals for, sir? Do you notice the rainbow one down here? Like, I don't remember the military giving that thing out.
Proctology.
Was that Rachel Levine before she transitioned?
Yeah, right.
That's what I thought when I saw it.
Is that Rick?
That could have been Rick. Yeah, that's Rick. I don't know what that is, but that's the guy. And do you think they owe us something?
An apology.
Well, yeah, but I was reading about this.
We need bodies at this point. We need people in prison.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm tired I'm tired of people apologizing, falling on the sword, and going and writing a book.
Yeah.
You need bodies in jail over this.
Yeah.
I want to know who lied. I want to know why the fuck we didn't hear her audio sooner, why they did everything to cover it up. Yep. It's bullshit. You all heard it. They all heard it, and they were trying to prevent it from being released. You should be prevented from running for office after that if you tried to defraud us.
They got confident because of COVID. COVID gave them this gift where you couldn't even ask questions, hide them in a basement, and just run a campaign that way and let the machine get them elected. Right. Well, you couldn't do that the second time around, so they just... the fact is, I was calling him soup before he ever won shit. Like, this isn't something. These people are also trying to do this too. Like, oh yeah, there was a big fall off from 23 to 20. Bullshit. The big fall off was years earlier. Look at 2012 Joe Biden and 2019 Joe Biden. They're not the same human being. They're not at all.
It's insane.
Like, don't give me this shit like, oh, yeah, well, it was just the last year. No, that guy right there, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, he was his personal physician and wouldn't ever do an interview. I mean, like, what are we doing here? Does he owe the American public something? Don't give me this apology shit, because he'll never be sorry. So that would be false. Like, I want that guy in front of congressional hearings. Like, what did you know? When did you diagnose this? Why didn't you test for this? How did we get to this level where someone in charge of the nuclear codes was a dead man walking and half the country could see it?
You know what really pisses me off is that they were accusing Trump of lacking mental acuity. And then and they're always doing what they're accusing others of doing. It's fascinating, because it's come full circle again. When they started focusing on Trump's health, you knew it was Biden's health.
Yes. Where does that come from? That is accuse your enemy of what you're doing. Who is it? Is it Marx? Is it Marx who famously said that?
Yes, I think
it's either Marx. It's one of them. My brain sucks as bad as Biden, so it's hard to remember, but it's one of those.
I thought you were taking those brain pills, Mike.
I am. I took my shake and everything. I'm taking my
neuro pills.
Yeah, I'm taking those too. No, no, I'm taking
while you're blasting it with your hand.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm taking lean one neuro shake to make my brain work. I'm trying it. Why not? I feel like I've done. Yeah, right. No,
Dude,
it's Bill Romanowski's company.
I forget in every 3 seconds.
Do you? It's not just me.
No, I feel like I have the dementia.
See, here's the problem. Here's the problem, though. I feel like Amy has no notes in front of her. Greg never has any notes in front of him. And I do a show with you two, and I'm sitting here going, oh, fuck, I don't remember that guy's name or this guy's name or that guy's name. Like, I don't remember shit. And so I have notes in front of me and like bullet points of where I want to go. And you guys are just like locked in. I'm like, these guys are so much better than me. I can't do this anymore.
But I already did the show.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? We talked about a lot of this today.
Did you? Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where we go with this stuff, but you know, Trump's calling for a major investigation into Kamala Harris. Why haven't we heard from her?
She's passed out drunk?
Maybe, but he wants an investigation into well, not into her, but into several of these celebrity endorsements.
Yep.
Do you think there's any there?
Probably not. I mean,
yeah, I don't either.
Even if they find out they took money, no one's going to do anything about it. So, I mean,
yeah,
all of this shit, I get tired of hearing major news coming. No, it's not. There's no major news coming.
Yeah.
No one's doing anything about it. I'm with you. The best thing we can get, and I fucking do it in prime time, just like they did when they put Trump in prime time. I would do prime time hearings on Joe Biden's health deficiencies, and I'd put him on fucking TV.
Yeah.
And I would run that fucking guy and his family and everyone who enabled this through the gutter so that when the midterms come, people remember what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I wouldn't hate seeing that either. What are you going to say, Ames?
Now I don't remember. Just call me Joe Biden.
See, it's happening to all of us.
No, I do know what I was going to say. I do know it. I saw someone on X say, strongly worded letter incoming, because that's usually all that ends up happening, is fucking Rand Paul writes like a strongly worded letter to somebody, and then, we just move on.
It's like one of those NFL apologies after they fuck the Lions.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. After review.
Yeah. No, I want someone in prison, in an NFL prison for like a month. Don't give me this shit. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, you have jails under some of the stadiums. Let's go. What are we doing?
Well, this whole thing, there's got to be some resolution, or you just continue to lose faith in government, because we knew for the last 4 years, almost every single word coming out of the White House was a fucking lie. Did you hear did you hear this little part of the story? They brought Steven Spielberg in to help them with the videos of Biden.
Holy shit.
Steven Spielberg was in on this.
I remember they brought in a big shot. What was it? When they were doing those hearings you're talking about for January 6th, didn't they bring in some Hollywood
Nancy
production
Pelosi's
team?
daughter.
Yeah.
Well, her too, but I think they brought in like the president of some company to make it like a slick Hollywood production with all the bells and whistles.
But Spielberg was helping with the videos when Biden couldn't talk for more than 10, 15 seconds at a time. Remember all the jump cuts and the videos they would put out of him?
Yep.
Spielberg was involved in that.
Well, Spielberg's probably in the CIA.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a Hollywood division, so I'm sure they just gave him a buzz. Hey, can you come and help us?
Put a Darth Vader mask on this bitch and let's get him back out there.
Exactly.
I just don't understand what the benefit is to Steven Spielberg. Like, how? Like, can you imagine if they came to you though and they were like, "Yeah, Donald Trump can't do any. I mean, he's basically a dead person. Greg, we need you to go to your audience and tell them everything's okay." Like, I can't imagine the scenario where I'd be like, "Yeah, my team." Like, there's nothing anybody could say to me or Amy or you. I feel like
I can be
okay.
bought.
Devil's advocate, Mike. Devil's advocate.
Be bought. Yeah.
Now,
I got kids in college, fucker.
say Trump's health just took a fucking nosedive. And the option was ride it out, and maybe we can just like get far enough that we can just kind of put Vance in there and we're still in power, versus the other option is Kamala Harris becomes president next.
Well, DEI fucked them because they put Kamala Harris in, and we're not comfortable with her taking over. And that's where that's why you don't pick someone based on what's between their legs and what color their skin is.
Yeah.
You pick somebody who, because if Trump had to step down tomorrow, I'd be completely comfortable with Vance.
Right. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When you look at the bench on the other side, it's comical. I mean, I think we can all agree that
they still tried to sell us her. They still tried to sell us her.
Yeah. No, I'm going to have a conversation with my brother later. Like, no, fuckface. You were willing to cast a vote for Kamala Harris. Do you not see this all tying together? Huh?
He's a lib too?
No, that's not fair. He's not a lib. He was more like, this Trump guy, I don't get, pussy.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, fuck
no,
that.
He's a very good guy who thinks the best of everyone. So it was very hard for him to believe that Jake Tapper would lie to him, or Bill Maher would be full of shit, or why would George Stephanopoulos all of a sudden start lying to me? Yeah, that's a reasonable assessment from normal people. Right. Is that went on? I think you've taken that away from him, Greg. I think you're just like, fuck that. You have a responsibility to kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm done with that bullshit.
Yeah. But he's been coming to me a lot because he still sends me stuff like, what do you think of this your boy's doing? And
great.
I'm like,
everything's great. Everything's great. You know what your response should be? Exactly what I voted for.
Yeah. But he does go, I love this. I love this. I love that Trump's doing this. He's not thrilled. He's worried about, like in the weed stuff, which is so funny to me that people do this. He'll be like, what's up with this jet from fucking Qatar? And I'm like, I don't know. And the story hasn't landed long enough for me to know exactly what happened, where, when, and why. I'll wait a minute to find out.
Done.
It's what?
It's not even done. It was a report from ABC News.
Yeah. So he wants to melt down about that. And I'm like, dude, the biggest cover-up conspiracy bullshit job in the history of this country, not like in the history of your life, like in the history of this country just took place. And you're worried about a fucking jet gift from Qatar? Like seriously? And you don't even want to talk about the last 8 years. Let's be honest. It's really the last 8 years. It's not 4 years.
Right.
The only reason you hate Trump is like you do is because of the gaslighting that went on that you bought.
The lie. So they lied about the man for 8 years. You believed every word of it. Now you're finding out none of it was true. And you want to cry about a fucking jet or about somebody misgendering somebody? Fuck off.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But who do you blame the most for all that?
His wife.
Really, you do? Because that's Biden. One thing people want Jill Biden charged with elder abuse. Another one that hilarious. They're not going to be able to do that.
No. But she put him out there. She wanted the power. Oh, that's where I firmly believe her and Hunter didn't want the money machine to turn off. Mm-hmm. They just needed that figurehead to be in office. Didn't matter that he was drooling and shitting himself. That kept the money flowing. The minute he died, the minute he left, the money cut off. That's why Biden's back out there. She's pushing him out to do appearances and things because she wants more money before he dies. She's using him as a literal, like she should just put him on his lap and put her hand up his back.
Totally. But I would say this though. Being a piece of shit isn't illegal.
No.
Piece of shits are allowed to exist. And that whole family don't give me this good old Uncle Joe. No. Joe Biden's been a sack of shit his entire career.
It's well documented. The truth it's well documented. He fucked a babysitter while he was and then married her. I mean, come on, that's all you need to know.
He's racist.
And
they're degenerate racists.
He's a pervert.
Degenerate, racist, pervert. All of those things are true. And we can say that while also going, yeah, that's really tragic what happened to your first wife and your daughter. That's really we all have tragic events that happen in our lives. Two things can also be true at the same time. He is when you talk about like corrupt politicians, Joe Biden is top of the list.
And
top of the list. And an asshole. So I don't have a problem even with Joe. Yeah.
Who's a puppy?
This is Miggy.
Oh.
Yeah, Miggy Piggy.
Yeah, Miggy Piggy.
Miggy's 10.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. So Greg, when you point out Jill Biden is the I'm with you, but I expect Jill Biden is the babysitter who ended up marrying the guy. And Hunter Biden's his kid, his sack of shit brothers have been sacks of shit grifting on the American public and dime forever. Like, whatever. I blame the media in all of this.
Well, they were complicit. There's no doubt. And you know what?
I think they're to blame.
But here's the crazy thing. I don't think anyone even had to tell them to do it. They just fell right into line. Like, I don't think the White House went to ABC and said, hey, help us cover this up. I think they just went along with it because they are corrupt. They wanted him in office and not Trump. And they just went along with it. I don't know how the media can recover from this. And I know they will, because in the end, people will forget and lefties don't care.
I think they have. I think there's a new media source, dude. I think you're looking at it.
Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, those guys got Trump elected.
Yeah. I think you're looking at what is the new media. Like, think about it this way. Like, we're still playing this game because we have to. When was the last time? And I'm around a 10-year-old, and I spent enough time with my niece and nephew in California. The idea that they're sitting down and turning on network television for anything, Saturday morning cartoons, what they watch zero chance of that. Zero. No. Like, our generation, the idea of like, oh yeah, Monday Night Football starts at X time and I'll be there. Like, we are it. Like, it's over. It's over. Yeah. So what you're going to see is all of these people, the Jake Tappers, the Anderson Coopers. Who you calling?
Nikki.
Who you calling? There she is. So
what?
You getting ready to head off to Mar-a-Lago? I gave you this perfect suggestion for your 25th anniversary. It's beautiful this time of year.
It's beautiful this time of year.
Yeah,
I hear great things about Mar-a-Lago. You guys should plan your trip.
We get the honeymoon suite again.
Oh God. Oh God.
So hey, I got a question for you, really quick, before you run out of here. What do you make of all this Joe Biden stuff? Or do you think, like, in any way that the media misled you at all over the last 4 years? Or you think, like, no, not at all.
About his dementia?
About
dementia, cancer, the entire presidency.
I do think
everything
it's weird
the liberal media has told you for 8 straight years.
I do think it's weird that he got. I don't know how. Well, I mean, I guess every president hires their own doctor to tell them what they want. Like, I'm sure Donald Trump's in perfect health.
See, they always shift it.
Always. I knew this was coming.
What I'm saying is, I think they must have known he had cancer, because I can't believe it would be stage 4 aggressive.
Same thing that killed my dad, and Nikki witnessed it all, so she knows exactly what happens with prostate cancer.
Oh, you mean you don't wake up one day with Gleason scale 9 out of 10? You don't just wake up one day with that, like, oh, what
he's
do you
looking at his balls going, I didn't have this last week.
Wow. What happened?
Well, I mean, that's
what about the Jake Tapper book about how he was basically a vegetable?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't.
See? No. Just because she watches TDC.
I don't watch any news. I could give a shit.
There's a book about him.
I could give a shit. That's the other one. They don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
My brother does the same thing. I'm not blaming you.
No, I don't care. I don't care.
All right, good night.
I mean, it's the policies.
It's the policy.
You know I love you. You know I
farting on him.
Slam the door.
Just shit myself.
Oh God.
That's what they all do, though. They all I don't care. Yeah.
No, I noticed that Howard Stern does that. My brother and sister-in-law do that. It's a
defense
mechanism.
They stopped watching the news during the Biden presidency, which was insane.
Right.
My sister is the biggest liberal, and it was like for 4 years straight from 2016 to 2020. I mean, I don't think her eyes left MSNBC. And from 2020 to 2024, she was like, oh, you know what? I stopped watching the news. And it's like, oh, did you?
Convenient.
Did you now? Let me tell you what's going on.
I stopped when Biden won. I was like, I don't want to see this shit.
Yeah.
I watch when my guy's in because I want to know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't stop completely, but I was definitely not as an enthusiastic consumer of the news.
Right. Exactly.
You know, I was looking at this about like what does it mean if a president is not all there mentally? Like, what are the dangers of it? And impaired decision making, national security risks, erosion of public trust, inability to handle crisis. This one really got me. Manipulation by others. And this is what I think we saw, where it's maybe more susceptible to influence from unelected advisors, foreign leaders, or special interests, effectively ceding control to others who may not prioritize the nation's interests.
That was what Trump's tweet was about tonight.
It's great. Did you see that tweet? Have you seen that, Amy?
I did. Where he basically wants to know. Do you have it in front of you?
I do. I can read it to you.
Go ahead.
Joe,
or you can paraphrase if you want.
I hope this is the one you're talking about. Joe Biden was not for open borders.
Yes.
He never talked about open borders where criminals of all kinds, shapes, and sizes can flow into our country at will. It wasn't his idea to open the border and almost destroy our country and cost us hundreds of billions of dollars to get criminals out of our country and go through the process we are going through now. It was the people that knew he was impaired cognitively. And that took over the auto pen. They stole the presidency of the United States and put us in danger. This is treason at the highest level. They did it to destroy our country. The Joe Biden that everybody knew would never allow drug dealers, gang members, and the mentally insane to come into our country totally unchecked and unvetted. All anyone has to do is look up his record. Something very severe should happen to these treasonous thugs that wanted to destroy our country but couldn't because I came along. That's a great tweet.
Because I came along.
Yeah, he's not wrong though. That's it. When you put it in that full context for the first time, as the walls just crumble in front of our eyes, you start seeing all of that. Like, yeah, that totally makes sense about the auto pen stuff. Like something that should have been used. Like, yeah, the country, he's out of the country right now, but we want to get this through. He can vouch for the fact that this is being signed with a device. Auto pen goes back generations. Right. That is not a new thing.
It's not an issue normally.
No, not an issue normally. And you would be easily be able to go, yeah, I did that. Like that interview, that was it Mike, who's the Speaker of the House? Mike Johnson?
Johnson.
Yeah, where he said, I was talking to him and he cleared the room and I was like, why did you do this? And he's like, I didn't do that. And he's like, you absolutely fucking did that, sir. What are you talking about? You did it last week. You signed off on this. I need to know why you did that. And like Joe had no idea, and I can't remember the details. Maybe you do, Amy, about what that story was.
I vaguely remember that, yeah.
But it's stuff like that where it's like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all with someone in that position that people would take advantage of that and then just be like, just auto pen it. Just auto pen it.
Of course.
Suddenly, January 6th doesn't seem like it was that big of a deal.
It never was. It was a rowdy tour group.
Yeah,
it was. And the thing is this kind of shit.
Harbor, though.
Yeah, and 9/11 combined. This type of shit is why people riot. This is the type of shit why they gave us guns. And I'm not saying people should go out and riot and hurt people with their guns, but this is the type of shit. This is the treasonous stuff that they're expected us to fight back against.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why they wanted to lock us all up for the way
you mean a tyrannical government?
Yeah.
You know, that's the argument. The Amendment 2 argument. Constitutional people will say, like, can you guarantee that there's not going to be a tyrannical government? Then fuck off. We're not having a discussion about guns then.
They pushed it to the extreme. Like, I would have never thought this could happen.
No.
When I was, younger, and I was always a little skeptical of government. Now I'm downright distrustful. Like, I don't believe a word they say. Well, now I do for the most part, but I think Trump takes liberties too. But not like to this extent. Like Trump will say, well, it's a big, beautiful bill. But he's not out there saying, I don't want open borders. And then meanwhile, letting the borders stay open, stuff like that.
Yeah.
He makes little white lies. Biden's team just auto-penned chaos.
Yeah.
Is what they did.
Yeah. But how were they able to convince half the country that there was nothing to see here?
Because they're all in a cult.
Yeah.
They're in the Democrat cult. I mean, we're still having discussions about dudes with dicks playing women's sports. Yeah. How the fuck does that even see the light of day? How does that conversation even see the light of day?
Dude, the warden sent something out today about that. Like who are these people who don't think that a person knows what they are and you're just like, what? How do you get there?
Right. You're insane. That's probably 0.001% of the population with gender dysphoria. It's not 1 in every 10 kids now wearing a fucking dress.
No, or 4 in 10 in certain areas of the country.
Right. And every Hollywood actor's kid.
Yeah.
Because they're all fucking trans now. It's weird as fuck.
It is. No, who was the one we were talking about, Amy? Was it De Niro's kid?
Yes.
That came out after seeing the light after watching a fucking Disney live action movie. I was like, yeah, that's not how gender dysphoria works.
Right. Maybe you're just gay and like show tunes, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you have a shit dad.
Right.
Sorry. You have a shitty father that was probably there very little. Very little. I mean, think about Bob De Niro at 80 years old, and he's got a 20-some-year-old kid who's going through, radical gender dysphoria now. Like, fuck out of here.
Right. It's insane. And when people like the warden send out stuff like that, I just want to say, can you even walk me through this minus your feelings? Tell me what exactly goes through somebody's mind when somebody wakes up one day and says, I want to dress like a girl. Now, I'm not going to cut my dick off, but I'm going to dress like a girl. Because to me, you're not trans unless you do bottom surgery.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're a cross-dresser. We used to just call them cross-dressers.
Exactly. Yeah. You just like to play dress up, and it's fine.
Right. Cross-dress all you want. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But don't tell me I have to participate.
No, they don't want to have the discussion. Greg, is what they don't want to do is even have the discussion. A lot of times they'll point to some outlier of a study talking about, and they'll use the radical one example that we see that over and over. The total outlier of human biology. The hermaphrodite argument to act like where you're like,
a medical issue.
Right.
like, yeah, let's talk about how some people have fucking medical issues. Yeah, we get it.
Right.
Just because some people are born with 9 toes doesn't mean that the majority of the population is born with 9 toes. It means that person has a defect.
Yeah. But again, I think there used to be like that group of people always existed, in my opinion. Like there was always, and they used to be, ran around in the red light district and who cares? Sodom and Gomorrah. Like those people existed. They just didn't get mainstream cover from the media going, what's the matter with you, Greg and Amy? You don't believe that a 5-year-old boy would know if it's a girl? Like, and then try to gaslit you into thinking you're crazy. You're question is, what would your, like, I don't know where your wife falls on this, and not to beat up on her, Greg, but like, what would you have done if your fucking sons came home one day from school and were like, I think I'm a girl? Like,
well, I have a nephew who did this. And my advice to my brother was get him into a doctor, find out what's going on in his head. If he still feels that way when he's 18, he can do whatever he wants. But you're not doing surgery. You're not doing hormones. But his crazy wife put the kid on hormones before she even talked to my brother. I would have the same thing. I would get my kid in to see a shrink immediately. Just to, you got to exhaust all options before you start going down radical surgery procedure roads and say, and I wouldn't say you're insane, you're stupid, you're crazy. I would say, let's find out what's going on. Let's see if there's something else underlying all these issues. But I also think, here's what I think. If you grow up in a normal home with parents who aren't psychos, like we're weird, but we aren't psychos. I mean, you model to your kids that, there are ups and downs, and sometimes you don't feel good about yourself, and you have to find ways to make yourself feel better, whether that be doctors, I've taken my kids to doctors because my oldest one had a lot of problems after COVID mentally. He was down, didn't want to do anything, and fucked up his senior year in high school, no proms, no nothing. And so we had to work through that. He's fine now and doing great, but far too many people say, "Oh, you feel like a chick? Okay, well, let's get you some tits." It's insane. It's insane. And it's so, I feel like it's so disrespectful to women to let these kids compete with women in women's sports, and to look at women and go, well, you don't know what he's feeling. Oh, you don't? Well, you're a woman. You should know. It's the way we treat, they talk about how black women like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, black women have it so tough. I don't know that there's any group shit on more than white women.
No.
To be honest with you, it's like everyone tells them to just shut up, and then you get blamed because a few of you voted for Trump and won the election. It's crazy.
Yeah, that Angel Reese story is wild. Did you see Robert Griffin and Ryan Clark?
No,
going at it.
A couple of pussy drama queens.
Oh my God, I can't stand either of them. I kind of used to like Ryan Clark's football coverage.
Him. No. I knew him in Pittsburgh. He was with the Steelers when I was there, and he was an arrogant prick.
Really?
Oh, yeah. But it's not just him. They're all back in RG3 now. I saw Asante Samuel tonight doing a video on it. I saw a couple other NFL guys that Ryan Clark's blocking them all on X.
Yeah. Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell was the other one.
Really? Well, here. Why don't we watch?
He's a good dude, by the way. For a Sparty, great dude. Always high as fuck. But he's a great dude.
That you just made Amy's night.
Sweet.
Let's so Ryan Clark talking about the feud between them, and it really is, it's an underlying thing. Some sort of feud with him and Robert Griffin III, former Redskins quarterback. And of course,
makes it personal too.
Yeah, he's banging a white chick. He married a white chick, and that's what Ryan Clark has a problem with, it sounds like. But here, I'll let him explain.
Doesn't Ryan Clark have a baby with a white chick?
Does he really?
Yes.
Well, let's check him out.
They always accuse you of what they're doing.
Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story.
Right.
The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country, about what young Black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension as a starter. No, when you look at it, I think A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the
bullshit.
Bullshit. Total bullshit.
No, but total bullshit.
Hold on. Here's the other thing. You know what he didn't say there? Black women have to deal with, I don't know, P. Diddy dragging them down a hallway and beating, not P. Diddy. Yes, but it was a pussy, right? You're dragging her down a hallway and beating the shit out of her. Black men are the ones who treat Black women poorly, not anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know what he's pissy about, but then it sounds like Robert Griffin came back, posted a video explaining Ryan Clark crossed the line when he brought up his white wife. Boy, they don't like that when they start dating outside their race.
No, they do not. No, they do not.
Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family personally over a sports opinion is cowardly, spineless, and weak. Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family personally over a sports opinion is a bad look for ESPN and for him as a man. Clark stood by and was just like, stood by his remarks. It was like he was one of the worst teammates I ever had. So now the real story comes out.
Here's personal. Again, it's personal.
Yes,
bro. The thing that bothers me, though, Amy and Mike, is what Ryan Clark said was not attacking his wife. wife. Oh, the puppy. That's the big guy.
That's old guy.
Diesel.
Hi, Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you have 3 dogs too?
Yeah, I've got 3 dogs. Yeah, Rocky, Diesel, and Miggy.
And you said I was living in a zoo.
Yeah, no, Rocky's my husband.
Oh. but they always that's the thing that frustrates me most is that wasn't an attack. He was doing an explanation that's still stupid. It didn't make any sense, but he didn't, and then Robert Griffin gets on and he's going, attack my wife and family. I mean, you're supposed to be a fucking man, dude.
Right.
Relax.
Remember,
Go ahead.
Do you remember 10 minutes ago when I attacked your wife by suggesting she go to Mar-a-Lago?
That was a heinous attack, Mike.
Heinous attack.
No,
I'm surprised you weren't head and hands like,
Mike.
Attacking why would you personally bring my family into this?
She's standing right here, goddammit. I mean, Jesus Christ. These guys are such pussies. Yeah. That's what I always used to say whenever the Lions would get all uppity whenever we did something on the fan. I'd be like, you're such big badasses till someone criticizes you fucking pussies.
What did they do back in the day to you guys? What did they get most pissy about?
Oh, like Spindler used to always go off.
Mark did?
Johnny Morton.
Oh, well, dude.
He wanted us to play. He said this. We should play, what do we call it? Smear the queer with you guys. That's what Johnny Morton said.
Dude, do you remember...
he was the most effeminate Lion there was.
Oh my God, dude. I'd go to practice and sometimes it'd just be me there and watching them. And the whole team would come out. They'd be wearing their shorts, they'd be pads, everything. And then Johnny Morton would come out in like the spandex pants, just spandex pants.
Hi, Johnny.
And cleats. And it was just like no shirt, just shredded, just like, hi. It was the weird, it made you feel uncomfortable just even being just standing there.
He was a weirdo, dude. He always get pissed about everything. Even Wayne never got mad, but Johnny Morton could not take 1 ounce of criticism. And then Scott Mitchell would literally just get so upset about everything.
Really?
Oh, very upset. Weird dude.
Yeah. What would they do? Because the fan was the broadcast for Lions, right? Wasn't it the fan?
Never had the Lions.
Okay, so you could say what you wanted.
Not bought and paid for by the home team, baby.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, interesting. They gave us shit when people brought all the Drew Blow signs to the stadium, and they kicked us all out, and they fucking banned us for years from even going. Yeah,
Tom LeWand.
Yeah,
they were always trying to get in our ear about how great, Bobby Ross was going to be. And there was a lineman who I hated named Sean Bowens, who was fucking terrible. And I'd trash him on the air, and they're like, no, you got to watch film on this guy. And I'm like, I just watched him get blown up for 3 hours. And then I pull my buddies aside who like Hank Thomas, who did a show with us, and Scott Mitchell, and they'll be like, he sucks.
Yeah.
I listen to the players, not to the fucking front office.
Isn't that the best when you kind of befriend a few of those guys?
Oh yeah,
and they tell you the real story about who the guys on the team. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You usually have a pretty bad locker room when those guys are talking shit about their teammates, but when you have a lousy team, what are you going to do?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Do you think, going back to the WNBA, I mean, I have been shitting on the WNBA since its inception. I believe they lost $40 million last year. Year.
Yep.
Yeah. Something like that, right? Was it 38 million?
38 million. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. They've lost money every year in existence. I am encouraged by Caitlin Clark. I don't think it's a race thing. I think it's a talent thing. I'm still not going to watch just because it's basically
what's not
bad.
A race thing?
Like the fact that she's white. I don't think I'm like impressed by her because she's white. You know what I mean? Like I'm impressed by Steph Curry because Steph Curry's the greatest shooter to ever step onto a court. And she appears to be something similar in the female version of the sport. It's like, wow, that's kind of intriguing. It's still subpar bad high school boy basketball. Right. And so just like I'm not dying unless it was my nephew playing in a high school basketball game. Really not interested in watching it. So, but she could save that league. It's not going to be Angel Reese.
No, you know who's going to save that league? The NBA, because they subsidize it to the tune of $40 million a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Angel Reese was going to go on strike this year. What happened to that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
Yeah. Shut up, lady.
They're gonna alienate anyone who wants to fucking watch them. And it's so insane. There's always
the white girl.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Do you think they could sink themselves by just being it almost seems catty, bitchy. Like the thing that people hate about women, we put up with because we love you, Amy, but you put up with like, oh God, here she goes again.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But it seems like that's what they're doing to each other. And it's like, how do you not see you have Tiger Woods just walked into your fucking boring ass golf world? How do you not see that Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson just walked into your sport? How do you not see, that a potentially generational star just walked into something that nobody gives a shit about?
But you know why they can't see it? Because it's the same people who would be fighting in a Waffle House if they weren't in the WNBA. You know what I mean? Those irrational fights you see in a Waffle House at 2 a.m. is the same thing they're doing to her. They're like, they have such hatred for her because of her race. They just want to go after her.
Yeah.
You can't break up a 2 a.m. Waffle House fight, just like you can't, keep them from donging on these girls because they're beating up the other 2 blonde pretty girls too now.
Are they?
Is it Callahan or whatever? I don't even know their names. But they were showing the audio of Angel Reese just whipped one of them right to the ground last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angel Reese is racist. So there's no doubt about it.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Which is her right. She can be racist. You just can't act on it. You know what I mean?
I thought,
can't hurt people.
I think these help a lot. Caitlin's presser afterwards. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
I shouldn't have fouled Angel Reese.
I hope there's more of these.
We all know she would have missed it twice anyways. I was just trying to save her from looking really stupid, and I fouled her so hard one of her eyelashes fell off. I'm the LeBron of women's basketball, and Angel's the Michael Jordan of Joakim Noah's. She dribbles like a blind girl that's 6 tequila shots deep. She's one bad season away from starting an OnlyFans page and selling molds of her beefy tang for $20. Angel has her own McDonald's special, so I told her to put the fries in the bag. She should be more humble because she's going to be selling autographs at a strip club during lunchtime soon. If it wasn't for me, she'd be doing tricks for Shaq in order to...
during lunchtime.
No lies were told.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
the best part is no one talking about this is like, oh, by the way, that game you're talking about, they lost by 30.
Yeah. Almost
Angel
40,
Reese's team
38 or something.
Was it like 38? No, it wasn't even close. Caitlin Clark wiped the fucking floor with you. What are you talking about? Triple double, yeah.
The only game she ever beat Caitlin Clark in was that national championship game.
Yeah, LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah. And talked mad shit.
The WNBA is hilarious. They're going to try to bring a team to Detroit. No thanks.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You know what they are bringing to Detroit that I saw today? That new golf league that Tiger Woods indoor golf league that they started this year. They've got franchises in New York, Florida, I think LA, but they're bringing one to Detroit, and it's they'll start in the 2027 season.
Really?
So what is this? I'm not even familiar with it. What is this?
Okay, so hang on. Let me pull it up really quick. So this is a new thing that started this year. And they built these indoor they're like indoor stadiums. It's basically like virtual golf, but in a crazy way. But then you also putt in person. But all the big golfers participate in it. Like Tiger participates in it. They're all part of these teams.
So is it like the screens and stuff? Like you play courses all over the world like that? Like those like if you go to
it's called TGL Golf.
Wow. Interesting.
And right now they have
I don't golf, so I don't know much about it.
Really? You don't golf? That surprises me. Did you used to, Greg?
My screen really quick.
Never. Do I look
really?
No.
Wow,
so they just said Motor City Golf Club coming in 2027. Seventh team.
Let me see a video. Can you play one of those videos? I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because I want to get one of those.
Oh yeah, this is like, it's crazy, and you can go there and watch it live.
That's cool.
They have a ton of fun. They're playing music.
But dudes love golf.
You know,
they love golf, so
they're mic'd up. So you.
Oh, that is tight.
So is that indoors?
When you watch this, it increases the whole.
That's
point
indoors.
By 1.
So is this what it would be?
Yep.
Just the short game.
Where's your bird?
That's a short. I'm trying to find. Oh, see, here you go.
Oh yeah.
So it's like a video game.
And then you have to go in and do the
Did he just get?
Yeah. See.
Oh
see
wow.
That's nice.
Boston down to New York.
To respond. Well, that looks good. That looks really good.
So this is kind of capitalizing on like
See,
the video game phenomenon.
Yep.
Like understanding
Yeah.
that kids are not going to leave the house and go do anything apparently. So how do you get them involved?
There you go, right there.
Like that's a way. Kids
Honestly,
might
it
be
just
involved in
became
that.
something like, I feel like this started after football season was over. It was in that lull where there's no sports going on, and this would be on like Tuesdays, and so it would just be on ESPN. So Rocky and I would watch it, and they had they seemed like they were having a really fun time. So it's pretty cool that they're adding a Detroit team.
Yeah.
You know, they've got New York, LA, Tampa, you know, the big cities. So it's kind of neat.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm all for it. That sounds pretty cool because this window right now with no football is absolute.
I'm so over it.
It's dude.
I don't know, man. The Tigers are pretty fun. They're winning.
Yeah, the
Tigers are
fun. Yeah, they're on right now. What's
but
the
it's
score?
baseball. It's baseball. It's not football. It's just not the same thing. I'm sorry.
Dude, you can't just eat steak every day. Sometimes you got to have a salad.
No, tell that to Al Michaels. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man. Fillets. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't. You know, I walked out of the house today though, and if you'd have been here today, you'd have been like, "What time's kickoff?" Cold.
Really?
Yeah.
Cold?
Rainy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a totally fall day here today. Oh, it's going to be all week this way.
Really?
Yeah, we're in a shit zone for Memorial Weekend.
Oh, that sucks. I'm coming to town in a couple weeks, so
Hopefully it'll warm up by then.
Yeah. I think Drew and I are going to go to the Tigers Cubbies game.
Hell yeah, you should. That'd
Yeah.
be great.
Nice.
Yeah. So no,
I should go too.
Cool. Amy could probably get you tickets.
I could.
See?
I'll go.
What game? Oh, to the Cubs?
Cubs. Yeah, I think Drew and I were talking about going to the Saturday game. So they're in town Saturday and Sunday.
Got 4.
Oh, there you go, Henson. Are you claiming them?
I'm claiming
want
them.
'em?
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Saturday, June 7th?
Are those $10,000 seats?
No, they're not. Sorry. Section 121, row 21, seats 5
My kid's
through 8.
birthday. You'll love
And
it.
free parking.
Fucking great. 4
I'll buy
tickets.
'em.
The parking's the best part.
Parking's the best.
Yeah, let me know.
Mike, text me his number and I'll send him to you.
Yeah, I don't know if you having his number is safe. he likes to send dick pics.
Only to
I'll
you.
survive.
Only to you, Mike.
Amy doesn't want to be left out of the fun. She
No,
loves.
I don't.
She
gets
loves
dick
the
pics
emojis.
and oyster pics.
Oh yeah. You'll get a lot of oyster pics. You'll like it. The other news that broke today, it was kind of interesting. We just got a couple minutes left, but George Wendt died.
Yeah.
Yes, from Cheers.
Can I be honest? I thought he was.
Yeah.
I thought he was already dead.
Yeah, people
Did
who
you
I already
really?
thought were dead.
No, here's what I like about this story, though. I like seeing a guy who was a huge fat guy, even when he was in his 30s, make it to 76.
That's not that
great,
old.
Dude, if I could make it to 76, I'd be thrilled. I'd be thrilled with
You take
76.
that right now?
Yeah, if you could put that down on the table, like you make it to 76, I'd be like, done. Take it.
Dude, that's only what? How many more years? 8?
10?
10?
10.
That's like 20 more years, right?
Dude, I'm a diabetic
So am I.
who's had issues with my heart. Like my heart's great now, but dude, I am not meant for this world. I don't even really like being here. So like 76 is more like a penalty than anything.
You're an idiot.
But I look at George Wendt. It's like, holy shit, that was a long time ago, that show, but he made it 76. Not bad. Were you a big Cheers guy? Either of you? Amy, that's probably way before your time, but
my mom used to watch Cheers, so I'd watch it every once in a while.
No?
Not really into it.
No.
Henson, no. What about the Bears?
I didn't like Seinfeld either.
What did you watch, dude?
Man shit. Sports.
Yeah. Okay. I watched all that too.
Nudie movies.
Nudie movies. Yeah.
Dude, I believe it or not, on the TV, dude. Honestly, in that era, I was working 2 jobs. Remember, I would go to Flint every night and play records on a country station while producing the morning show at CSX. I had no time to watch TV.
Yeah, and you didn't just have an iPad or an iPhone you could watch it on. You were sitting there playing the records.
Yep, I had to sit and wait for them to play.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. It was a different time.
Yeah. It's funny when you talk to younger kids, like my niece, who's gonna be, she's 10, almost 10. But they can't comprehend that you didn't have a phone or an iPad at all times. Oh. They cannot comprehend it. Like, what do you mean you didn't have an iPad for road trips?
I don't know that I can comprehend it.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Here's a funny story. My oldest is 22, and he went to my brother's house in Canton last weekend because my brother was going to put new brakes on, because my brother can do that in like 8 seconds. And the Tigers were on, and I said to my son, he goes, I'm watching it on my phone. I said, well, why don't you turn it on the radio? And he goes, how do I do that? And he gets in his car, and he's like, how do I turn it on? I said, well, if your Apple plays on, your radio's already on.
Yeah.
Hit the button that says banned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably never done that.
What would that equate to? Like when we were kids, like we couldn't understand, like, cause I get it. Like these kids have no
color TV
and cable.
Yeah,
but we didn't cable. It was a big event.
Yeah, no, but for older people like our grandparents or stuff, like, well, I don't know what it would be, what it would even like, what would be comparable? Like
computers. When computers came in and we all were learning how to use them, they didn't know what the fuck was going on. Remember the Apple IIe at school?
No.
With the floppy drive?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, sort of. I never got into it. I don't know why. Maybe I went to, I don't know. I didn't do the Oregon Trail thing that a lot of kids did. I don't remember that.
Oregon Trail.
Shit really sped up.
You are dying of dysentery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I sort of remember that being a thing. You were dying of dysentery, but I don't remember like being into that and playing it. And
I had the coolest game on my grandma's computer, and it was a floppy disk, but you could like design houses and like design rooms. I thought that shit was so cool.
You used to load them
so
on
ahead of it.
You used to load the games on cassette. I would go to the Radio Shack on my paper route, and I would play video games there. And one day Gary Cobb from the Lions walked in, and I kicked his ass in football.
Really?
Good dude. I'm just a booger-nosed paper boy, and he watched me and he goes, "Hey, let's play." I said, "All right." And then I look at him. I'm like, "Are you Gary Cobb?" Like, yeah.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I was so into the rock and roll like music stuff. Like my stuff was all music related.
Dungeons and Dragons.
No, like music. Like I was glued to a radio. I was recording.
No,
but I don't know. The video game thing I was into a little bit, but not really.
I didn't have
the computer stuff. Yeah, I had all those. Free Karen Reed. Oh God. Fucking people.
Sorry, Mike. There's comments. I was trying to just get to.
Somebody asked me about, hey, where's our gay friend?
Garrett?
Yeah.
We go at a later time now.
Oh.
So that kind of ruled him out, sort of. And then he decided to post on a fan page that I haven't heard from Mike and I was just like, okay, dude, I don't do that. So you were
building the studio, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How's it look? It looks pretty good from here.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, this camera's attached. Otherwise, I'd show you around. but yeah, yeah.
Mike, take the fucking camera off. You did it once. Jesus Christ, don't be lazy.
Lazy mother effer.
I'm trying to think. Do I have lines of Coke all over the table here that I can't? It's probably too messy. It's messy right now, but
is that the garage?
It is. It's converted. So that garage door is getting taken out. All that's getting ripped out, and it's going to be double doors there.
Nice.
Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
And so it's, my John Lennon Lego.
Do you just sit out there all night?
No, and I got my fridge. I got Black Santa. That's Black Santa. And then
you go in where the warden is?
What's that?
You have to go in and see the warden?
No.
I stay right there.
No, hell no. No. And then that, and then I got all my stuff over here, my Motley Crue albums and toys.
Nice.
Yeah. It's cool.
I like it.
Yeah. But it's all a work in progress. Did I line that up right?
Yeah, you're good.
Sort of.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't think it is. It's not straight. So anyway, yeah. Well, we've gone long. Did you want to give an update on Karen Reed? Because I did.
There's not much to update on from yesterday.
Texted with former Oakland County Prosecutor Dave Gorsica last night after we did the show, Amy, and Dave says he'll get up to speed on Karen Reed, and then he'll come on and we could talk about that stuff.
Now?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's fun dude.
Not paying attention to Karen Reed.
Yeah, he follows cases, but he's like, you know what? I haven't followed that a ton. I was like, well, get up to speed. I know most guys haven't, but Amy won't shut the fuck up about it. She's infatuated with it.
My wife's into it too.
Yeah, of course.
Does she think Karen's innocent?
No, she hates her.
Oh, really?
She thinks that bitch did it.
Get her in here real quick. Call your wife in here.
Please get her in here. Get her in here. Get her in here.
Shit's taking a turn. Oh, shit.
Let me roll up my sleeves.
Game on. All right, everybody. Have a great night. I'm out of here.
Well, see you later.
Oh, shit. This is going to get ugly.
I just want to know, based on what injuries?
Yeah. Dude, it's funny. When I went to the dentist,
she's in bed and she said, I'm in bed. I got a mask on.
Okay, next time. I want to hear.
She's a total skank.
Oof.
Okay, well, tell your wife the next time you talk to her that she's actually not on trial for being a skank. So while that might be a valid observation, she's also not on trial for being a bitch or having a resting bitch face. So
I thought Greg left. Oh, there she is.
She knows the truth. She knows. Okay, hang on, Greg. Greg, hang on a second.
Sucker.
I want to know. I want you to tell me something. Just
okay.
Okay. I want you to tell me what you think caused this injury. Now you know Karen's.
He's been following it.
Well, I know that's good. I don't want him to. I don't. But he likes dogs, so I bet he has an opinion.
That's a waste.
Why are these fucking blurred? I'm a grown adult. Turn this fucking blur off.
Safe search. She had the safe search on, Aim.
What in the actual? Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say she's guilty based on those pictures.
What do you think these marks came from? You think that's from a car?
His wife bit him.
Yeah.
It looks like someone bit that, right?
Yeah.
Your two options are a polycarbonate tail light sliced through 2 layers of clothing, or a dog that got rehomed a few months later.
Because it looks like a dog bite.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The homeowners got rid of the dog like right after this because it's not good with strangers.
Right.
And so, and he doesn't have any broken bones. He doesn't have a single broken bone. He doesn't have a single bruise. And
are they saying she ran him over?
She hit him with her car going 25 miles an hour in reverse.
Really?
Doesn't have a single broken bone. He's got a big gash in the back of his head. He's got those marks on his arm. And he died of hypothermia and the gash in the head and hypothermia. But what's really interesting, he was drunk. Yeah. He didn't have any frostbite, and it was like negative temperatures out there. And he was supposedly out there for 6 hours, and he didn't have any frostbite on his fingers, on his ears. So if you ask, they dumped him there. They 100% dumped him there. And I mean, when you find out all the fuckery about how the feds were investigating, and, Jen McCabe, the one who Googled how long to die in the cold at 2:27 a.m., when the feds started investigating and the feds came knocking at her door and they said, hey, we want to talk to you about John O'Keefe's death. And she said, I actually need 10 minutes. I'll be right back. So when she came back, the feds said, hey, when you said you needed 10 minutes, did you call anybody? And they were like, and just by the way, it's a crime to lie to the FBI, FYI. And so she's like, yeah, I did call 2 people. I called 2 people, her husband and someone else involved in this case.
Right.
And they were like, okay, so you didn't call anybody else? She's like, nope, I only called those 2 people. Well, she's doing
something behind me.
She asks, so she asked the FBI to leave. She says she doesn't feel comfortable, which is interesting. If all that happened is your friend, your best friend, died in the snow and the feds were investigating, wouldn't you be like, hell yeah, come on and investigate. I want to know what happened. So then the feds leave and she calls them back a few minutes later and she says, my husband told me that I should call you back and correct the record. I actually called 5 people. I forgot. I told you I only called 2. I called 5. Oh, and by the way, one of the people I called was the homeowner of the house where you found John O'Keefe dead.
You're leading the witness right now, counselor.
So, But the prosecution should rest. I think this week they have their accident reconstructionist up tomorrow, which I can't wait for because they've completely changed the theory from the first trial to the second trial. So I have no idea what their theory is in this trial. So it'll be interesting to see what they pop up. And then I think he's going to be the last witness. And then also, Greg, the lead investigator in this case was fired for his conduct for being biased against Karen Reed. He was texting his buddies saying he hopes she kills herself, that she's a whack job cunt.
Yeah, but he was also texting.
She's got a leaky balloon knot. She leaks poo.
Yeah, he was also saying, I haven't found any nudes yet.
Haven't found any nudes yet. Yeah,
Greg and I would text each other that. For in defense of him, Greg and I could easily text each other something like that.
So
easily. Just being honest.
And I think you have to delineate whether did he call her a cunt or a coont?
A whack job cunt.
Because that's kind of an affectionate saying.
It was so funny too, because in the first trial, he was like
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. He was in the first trial, he was like, and she's a whack job, cunt. And the judge was like, are those your words, sir? And he was like, yes. She's like, say them. Don't spell it. Say it.
Yeah, dumb cunt. That's what I called it.
Yeah.
All right, you dumb cunt. I'll say cunt.
Yeah. So. I didn't know what level Greg even knew anything about this case. Like, honestly, if you asked me 2 months ago, I wouldn't know any of these details, and that could have been like, I didn't know if he knew. Like, I expected his wife to know. His wife knows. Like when I was at the dentist the other day, I was talking to the chick that administers the nitrous, and she was like, "Oh, I want to know about you." Yeah, she got on top of me, and but no, we were talking. She's like, "Oh, so you do a podcast?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "What are the subjects?" And she didn't care about any of that. And then I was like, "Yeah, I got this dumb cunt that does the show with me, and she won't shut up about Karen Reed." And she was just like, "What?" So it's just there's something about everywhere. The female mind.
It's everywhere.
The female mind. I'm like, what is it with you guys? They all love it. They love the murder mysteries. Like, this chick didn't care about anything, but once I mentioned murder mysteries or Karen Reed, she's like, yeah, like she lit right up.
Man,
it's wild.
Yeah, I don't pay any attention.
Yeah, I've been on jury duty for like 3 weeks already. It's getting exhausting.
More like a year, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is my second jury duty trial.
Exactly. All right, Greg, thank you so much for being here. Let's do it again later this week. Where can people find you? I love catching your clips from time to time on Twitter and everywhere else.
See that name at the bottom? That's my X account, at Greg Henson.
3 G's.
And that's where all the shit happens.
There you go. Greg and Michelle, or Michelle and Greg?
Michelle and Greg with Travis on WLAV in Grand Rapidians.
Very good.
Mornings.
Let's do it again later this week.
I'm around.
Okay, good.
All right, cool.
All right, bye, guys.
It was a pleasure seeing you, Amy. Fuck off, Mike.
Mike, give me his phone number so I can get him the tickets.
I will. And or do you want his email or his phone number or both?
Phone.
You can text him probably.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And you know what? We'll talk about it as the date draws closer. Drew and I will have to hook up with you at that game. Yeah.
Do you guys drink beer at the game?
Sometimes.
You're too old, probably, huh?
Yeah. No, we'll be up gorging probably in the Champions Club. So we won't. If we come down to gather with the minions, I'll let you know.
Take your insulin.
Oh, I will. You know I will. All right, everybody. Have a